Lord, 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 that's all. Don't, Lord, 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 that's all. Mare did oats and little lamb did I be, a kiddly-divey too, wouldn't you? Oh, mares did oats and little lamb did I be, a kiddly-divey too, wouldn't you? If the words sound queer, funny to your ear, a little bit jumbled and jivey, sing mares eat oats and those eat oats. Little lambs eat ivy. Mares eat oats and some little lambs eat ivy. A kiddly-divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly-divey too, wouldn't you? As for me, foodaloo-doo-doo. As for me, foodaloo-doo-doo. Leave us face it.
It's a working farm. I have just over 200 breeding ewes. The main lambing season starts here on the 20th of March. In the month after that, over 260 newborn lambs went through.
Wow.
And for the breeding season, I'd carry 7 male rams. The ratio usually is 1 ram per 40 females. They're quite busy. Generation sheep farming here. My great-grandfather, also Richard Cullen, he was born right in the head of that valley up over there. Between the forests, that would have been part of my dad's land. My brother farms that now. So you can see some of his flock just on those top fields. It's real sheep country. Yes, there are improvements to make the job easier, but we're really following or governed by the seasons, the climate and the mountains. Like this mountain over here, this is called Brocka Mountain. Later in the day you will cross over part of that mountain when you travel from Glendalough to Kilkenny. 2,500 acres on it. There's 10 active shareholders on it. There were 27 at one stage. To be a shareholder or have the right to graze, a bit about the farm and the family. I'm going to get Spot out next and we'll pick up some sheep. I think they're around the corner. I haven't seen.
Food will do.
So we get Spot out.
Do you have a dog whistle? Oh, he's just in his little... That's really good noise. Oh, whoa!
I found the sheep!
Okay.
Lie down.
Thanks for joining us. Walk on. Walk on. Walk on. Lie down. Wait. Yep.
Does and nosy does, and little lambs and biggly lambs and all kinds of lambs eat ivy, a kiddly ivy too, boy. Isn't that a silly thing to do, Mazzy does?
In the pen.
And nosy does, and lambs get jumped.
So in a few moments,
When they eat.
now himself and Bruce would have been a team on the mountain for many years. So if I was driving the main flock out to a different grazing area on the mountain, Rob would normally be behind the main flock driving and Bruce used to do the wider walk. Spot's the next dog, he's 3. There is a gap between, there's no sheep around, lie down, the next one will be walk on. So really what I'm doing is stop it and start the dog and I would keep at that for quite a while. And for the sheep end of it, the instinct, the commands on this dog, keep them quite simple. Lie down, walk on, steady, slow down, away to the right, come by to the left. And another useful one, more so on the mountain, is when we see the dog has missed sheep in distance, or even there a few months ago, is lie down, look back, and away I come by. Back in word command, in distance, I'll be more on whistle. Anyone like to ask a question? Blue D on the hip. My brother's flock over there, a Red Sea. So each farm has its own marking, usually by their surname. And later in the day, when you travel from Glendalough to Kilkenny, you start climbing up, you go into the mountains, and you will, if you look out the window, you see the markings of the sheep, and they change as you go up the mountain. Different flocks come into play. There's contractors come in, they do the main ones, and then I'd finish there's a few they missed, or for some reason, I'd finish them up myself. We used to share ourselves, but the older dog, he just stays around the cottage, so he comes in and out at night time, yeah. Good alarm clock. I'll just keep my breeding stock for the winter, replacements and male rams. That's all I carry for the winter. And of course when you hit springtime, all the newborn lambs bring the numbers up. We're more or less all in the paddocks here, and the dogs kind of upset the paddock because mothers get very protective with their lambs when they're young. That's at the moment. Steady, walk on, come by, steady, steady, come by, steady, come by, keep on, lie down, lie down, come by.
I could get jivey too. Shoot the jivey, ivy, do. Words sound queer, funny to hear. Little bit jumbled and jiving. Mares eat oats, and dogs eat oats, and they like their little kiddlies eat ivy. There's the dotes and little lambs did ivy, a kiddly ivy too, wouldn't you? It's such a silly thing, but it's really fun to sing. Oh, mares the dotes.
With a different mark here, it's a Red Sea. So the river's quite low at the moment. Let's go. You could say she's over on her summer vacation. And I did ring him to tell him that she's here. I have talked to him in the meantime. He keeps saying I'll come tomorrow. So he's quite happy with the free grazing. So I'm thinking of, if it goes another week, I'm going to bring those in and put a green sea on it and say I'm over. They're known as the Wicklow Cheviot. They'd be very popular in this area, and they're a good hardy sheep, well able for mountain grazing and rearing lambs on the mountain. They'd be very popular here, and they'd make up about 90% of my flock. We have another white sheep there. The hairstyle should not be like that. She's a Dorset breed. I have 15 on the farm. He's spot. When we were shearing here in the middle of May, 3 young men from the village, they're contract shearers. I was moving sheep in and out, kind of keep supplying them with sheep and taking sheep away. I left them with the Dorsets. I came back, and when they had my back turned, they had a competition who could leave the Dorset with the best mullet. So I have 9 Dorsets going around with mullets. some things you can't cover on the farm. And those doors, that's why I'd have them is they're capable of giving me lambs way out of season, which is very useful for the demonstration. Quickly now, I'm going to give you a quick picture of a year here on a hill farm, how it kind of works out. This is real sheep country. It really only suits sheep farming, this landscape. So October the 25th, male rams go out with the main flock. That means my lambing season starts here the 20th of March. The month after that, the busiest of the year, usually up to about 95% of the main flock will have their lambs in that period. So lots of lambs that time of year, lots of sheep everywhere, lots of activity on the farm. Next big event will be the shearing, usually the middle of May. First week of June, I'm usually on the mountain for summer grazing. No predators on the mountain, quite lucky that way. Do not have to leave any dogs up there to protect the flock. I will move to the different grazing areas during the summer, but they'll always graze back to their home area on the mountain. And just 6 weeks ago, a big day in the area. It was a morning like this. We were well on our way at this stage. All the flock owners went to the mountain, different directions, and we gathered the whole mountain. We drove all the flocks right into the far valley, big sorting area. It's a separation day. The lambs came home, the older stock, the good breeding stock for next year is still on the mountain. And what's happening this month, I'm starting to sell off a lot of stock off the farm. Each week I'll be moving big numbers. I'll go from 640 down to under 300 in the next few weeks. And as they move off the farm, we go back at the end of the month. We gather the mountain again as a group. This time, all the flocks will be coming back to the home farms. Summer grazing will be over. Moving into October, I'll keep exactly the flock I want for the incoming year. I will have to sell out and buy in some male rams, and the 25th will arrive and the journey will start again.